director of Train to Busan. Another super exciting Korean drama is coming. This is something scarier than a virus. Not only is it contagious, it also makes people crazy and dehumanized. Thoroughly release the evil thoughts of human nature. It can be called the Korean version of crying. The story begins with a group of archaeologists who love tomb robbers. A Buddha head was dug out deep in the mountain. This stone statue has only a head and no other body parts. And the weird thing is, eyes of Buddha head. But it is wrapped in a special cloth engraved with scriptures. Although test, the ancient workers did not know the scriptures above what to write. But that doesn't stop them from getting rich. The next morning, a porter directly cut off to cover the Buddha's head. Seal of eyes. Scripture. I started to sprinkle water on the Buddha's head to clean it. He chased away the crow that was sitting on the stone statue. After the moment the leader who just came over saw the stone statue, surprised. This Buddha head statue has no eyes. At this time, the cleaning boy also followed the leader's sight, looking into the eyes of the stone statue. Just look at it. Lead them into the endless abyss from which they cannot extricate themselves. Turn the screen. Grandma who is farming in the vegetable field. Suddenly a drop of black water dripped on the face. When he stood up and looked up, the sky is now covered with clouds. A continuous black rain falls from the sky. The whole village seems to be shrouded in black rain. No one can escape. The time soon came to night. Cleaning during the day. The man in the stone statue is drinking wine in a restaurant. At this moment, he suddenly felt extremely uncomfortable in his eyes. And the hotel owner watched the black rain outside getting bigger and bigger. Heralds impending catastrophe and terror. The man can't take it anymore. I rushed to the bathroom to wash my eyes. He didn't expect. I saw my deceased father here. However, he pushed his old father down. You can tell at a glance that you are not a filial son. When he flushed out the toilet and came down the hall, he still sees his old father here. He was so scared that he fell back and fell to the ground. At this time, his eyes are already white. The father he saw in front of him was actually the store manager. It's because of the extreme fear. An evil thought erupted from the bottom of my heart. Instantly picked up the wine bottle and knocked down the store manager to the ground. Then I will not pay back. The store manager with the strength of his hand was beaten and passed out. After he was uniformed by everyone and sent to the police station. More furious. Even if the arms are handcuffed. He also broke his arm in complete disregard of the pain. Want to break free. This scene terrified everyone. Quickly called an ambulance and took him to the hospital. The doctor in the ambulance examined his white eyes. Both he and the female police officer are confused, don't know what happened. Wait until the next day. We have heard. The righteous archaeologist Xiaomia Shan appeared on the stage. But as soon as he appeared, I came to the hall where the village committee placed stone statues. I saw him standing in front of the stone statue, staring straight at this weird Buddha head. Little did he know that a terrible disaster was coming. Train to Busan director's latest zombie drama is weird. He is finally online. When illusion has been sealed for tens of thousands of years, stone statue of Buddha was dug out from the ground. A strange black fish descended from the sky and enveloped the whole city. Foretells that a terrible disaster is about to come to the world. The funny thing is, local county had even put the Buddha statue in the city hall for exhibition. Let everyone watch. But I don't know that people who only see the eyes of Buddha statues. Metropolitan. A black rain destroyed the crops in the field. Villagers came to the city hall, asked leaders to find a solution. Just when everyone is arguing, when there is no solution, a man walks into the hall with a sight. With white eyes, he growled loudly. A villager just wanted to go up to ask about the situation. But I didn't expect to be chopped down by the man in an instant. Where have the simple villagers seen such a terrifying scene? Suddenly, the hall became chaotic and fled for their lives. Xiaomei also took an ant. Ran outside in a hurry. I didn't expect it to be even more chaotic outside. Someone committed suicide by jumping directly from the roof. And the ant who just came out with him. He was hit by a truck and flew out. The outside world is like hell on earth. Even if you hid in the car, can't escape their pursuit. So there are still survivors who are sane. They fled into the office building again. Xiao Huai was crushed by his senior brother and couldn't get up. Fortunately, Xiaomei came to help him, and fled into the office building with him. Just when they're about to close the door, another female brother rushed in, blocking the door that is about to close. Fortunately, Xiao Qiang, who is a big fan, appeared in time at this time. Pulled it away. Solved him with a few simple meals. Just when everyone thought it was safe for the time being, At this time, Xiaomei in the hall began to hallucinate. In the illusion, he returned home again, seeing my dead daughter alive. Very happy. But there's a scary villain outside the door. To break into their house, Xiaomei quickly hugged her daughter and hid in the closet. The villain is slowly approaching outside the closet. Mother covers daughter's mouth to keep him from making noise. But the daughter thought it was her father who came back. I just broke free and my mother ran out. When Xiaomei chased out, daughter has been murdered. In reality, Xiaomei also suddenly struggled and fell to the ground. Is Xiaomei going to start to mutate? Xiaoqiang wants to strike first when he lifts the pointed wooden stick, but he was stopped by Xiao Huai standing up to the side. Is such behavior good or bad? Predict what will happen. Please watch the next episode. Nushan Buddha. Stone statue of Xiu unearthed deep in Korean mountain. As long as the person who sees the eyes of the stone statue will arouse infinite anger in my heart. Suddenly the whole city was thrown into chaos. And in order to find his wife away, with the female detective looking for her son, we entered this blocked city together by the road. But I didn't expect them to come here. Was attacked by a flock of fearsome crows. Wei got his face burned because of it. The two had no choice but to hide in a private house. Wei asked the female criminal police to block the crows outside the window. Then I went to the kitchen and found a bag of sugar, sprinkled on the table. Then draw a mysterious pattern on the white sugar. When he just drew the pattern, all the crows rushed in. However, strangely, Scary Crow can't see Wei and the female detective hiding under the table. It turns out that the spell static painted by Wei is really useful. However, this is not a long-term solution. They have to figure out a way to get out of the house and back to the car. Otherwise, you will be trapped inside forever. They counted to 3 and started rushing out of the house. The female police officer got into the car first. But Wei dug a piece of mud from the ground, sprinkled on the hood of the car. Then he climbed on the hood, started drawing steel patterns on it. When he just finished painting, he was besieged by a group of crows. Fortunately, the policewoman came to help in time. The two of them hid back in the car in a hurry. With a stationary car, it's like being invisible to the evil crow. That's why they put it in. Keep going to City Hall to find who they are looking for. And this matter, Xiaomei, who was locked in the small room, entered again into the illusion. He saw the most painful scene again. Due to work reasons, I was late to pick up my child. Let the daughter who came home alone think that the front is me. Dad's car. So off the road, knocked out by an oncoming truck. Mimi, who saw it all, suddenly slumped on the road. Grief and pain. In reality, Xiaomei slowly raised her head, looking at the little brother in front of him who is taking care of him. In his eyes. But it was the driver who wanted to hug his daughter. He's trying to take his own wounded child. The woman picked up the glass on the ground and frightened the little brother to the ground. Then he picked up the pointed wooden stick that the little brother dropped, thrust into his thigh. Then, under the surprised eyes of everyone in the hall, he rushed to the former leader and threw him down. At this time, the bully Xiaoqiang came out, kicked a woman away with one kick. Just when Xiaoqiang was about to kill him, Xiao Huai rushed out from the side again to stop him. However, such repeated behavior, Xiaoqiang was completely pissed off. He slammed Xiao Huai against the glass behind him, but did not expect the fight between the two shattered the glass covering the stone statue, make giant Buddha head exposed directly to the public, and everyone in front of you. They all looked straight into the eyes of the Buddha head. This is probably the time to be wiped out. There is something scarier than a virus. As long as you look at him, it won't be long before I lose my mind. Inspire all the evil thoughts in the heart. He is the eyes of the terrifying heavenless Buddha. Just now, because all the glass around the stone statue was broken, caused everyone to see the eyes of the Buddha head. They don't even know that the disaster is coming. This is a mutant old woman. Dragged a can of oil barrels and set it on fire. The air conditioner outside the building exploded violently. Let the alarm bell ring loudly in the building. People panicked. Finally, Xiaoqiang and the others decided to escape from the building. Leave by bus. He threw a dagger to Xiao Huai. Leave old friends to fend for themselves. It can be regarded as the utmost benevolence. However, after they left, handsome with a dagger, looking at the unconscious Xiaomei on the ground. At this time, his eyes are already white. It means that he has also mutated. And the heavy duty of queuing up and rushing to get on the bus. After losing a few more players, finally ready to hit the road. But just when they thought they were safe, the driver of the bus at this time, both eyes are completely white, and put on an evil and scary smile, facing the car driving towards Wei. hit it. Xiaoqiang grabbed the steering wheel, but still failed to escape the fate of overturning. In the end, everyone in the car mutated and killed each other in the car. No one survived. Turn the screen. The young guy in the building raised his dagger. When it's time to attack Xiaomei, Wei crashed into the building with his car, attracted the attention of two. Under the impact of accelerating car, also knocked down the Buddha statue. But the Buddha statue fell against the front of the car, and the female detective who opened her eyes to look for her son. At this time, I accidentally saw the eyes of the Buddha statue. This is really bad. However, the woman got out of the car resolutely, looking for son. But what greeted him was Xiaoshui's dagger, and Wei in the car was holding the wet flyer. Eyes closed. Pasted one by one on the eyes of the stone statue. Very difficult process. But in the end he succeeded. He hugged his injured wife and wept sadly. Just when he thought it was over, that's when the fire sprinkler system suddenly kicked in. While the water was pouring on everyone, also knocked down the leaflets on the stone statue's eyes. Wei finally saw the Buddha's eyes. As soon as he turned around, he saw his wife standing behind him. Blaming myself for not protecting my daughter. Men just wanted to apologize, but I saw that my wife was gradually covered with spiders. Terrifying tentacles pop out from behind in an instant. Wife turns into spiders buried in seconds. I want to swallow Wu in one gulp. Numerous little spiders crawled all over the woman's body. Wei was dumbfounded. Tentacles suddenly stretched out from behind his wife, turned into a giant spider in an instant. I want to swallow Wu in one gulp. This is after Wei looked into Yushen's eyes. Hallucinations. Xiaomei fell to the ground when she heard the pain. After the unconscious husband screamed, distressed. The monk on the other side of the phone said, Wu Tian's mana is slowly becoming stronger. Be sure to cover your eyes with the still captive, so as not to be deluded by his illusions. The woman immediately thought of the original seal, the one cut by the stone statue. So he immediately ran over, break the glass of the stand, then wrapped the satin inside with a seal of tranquility, tied to his eyes. He just can't see his fingers, slowly groping in front of the Buddha's head. Then he also imitated her husband with wet leaflets, paste the eyes of the Buddha statue little by little. Although the process is not so thrilling, but the tension is no less than with Spider-Man fight. Just when he finally put it on completely, when I take off the satin from my eyes. At this moment, Wei suddenly appeared beside the car. In an instant, he rushed over and grabbed Xiaomei's neck. Because of the death of her daughter, this led to frequent quarrels in their marriage. Once the cracks are formed, they will only get bigger and bigger and harder to fix. Man grabs car's wiper blade and snaps it off. Then in the woman's face will be tied down. Arguments with his wife intensified in the illusion. The wife washes her face with tears every day. But looking at the familiar face in front of me, and my forever cute and invincible little angel, all kinds of memories come to mind. The man gradually regained his sanity under Xiaomei's shot. Then a mouthful of black blood spit out. At this moment, the ditch at the top of the stone statue broke. The woman immediately pushed Wei out of the car. Then he opened the door and jumped out. The next second, the stone statue fell into the basement. The car also fell down. What followed was a violent explosion. Powerful explosive force. Unexpectedly, the stone statue was blown to pieces. In the end, they hugged each other with tears of joy. Wounds that never heal. Also resolved. Just when everyone thought this was the end of the story, 1 year later, they drove to a remote wasteland. A second ghost was found in a dilapidated shed. It's a ghostly figure that doesn't look like a human corpse. Predict what will happen. Please wait for the second season.